stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
The consumer looks immensely strong, so much so that many people are willing to quit their jobs. They've got so much in savings.
Oh, savings are just booming, booming. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Got that one out, network. This is sponsored, the first segment, by Cato, 1220 AM, San Francisco. And also, KLFE AM 1580, The Answer in Seattle. And don't forget, we stream live through YouTube and Rumble. Okay, so I kept telling my members that the market started to rally back up. I said, this market is not going to do anything. It's going to come right back down. See, people don't want to accept the fact that after 14 years of the biggest fraud called quantitative easing, they just don't want to, they're in denial. They just don't want to accept it's over. They don't want to accept this is the typical, after 14 years, what we call a relief rally. Now, we're doing well, whether the market goes up or the market goes down. Now, the market's down 500 points. We're making money. My members are making money because they are selling short. They can sell short the ETF spiders. They can short all 500. So easy. We show them how to buy an inverse. We just buy an inverse, SDS. So just like you're buying a stock. But we guide you through that. So we want to make sure when this goes down 500 points that they're going to be making money. That's the key. And once you get to that point, that it doesn't matter to you anymore if the market goes down. Now you've got it. Now you're in that 20 percentile who makes money consistently. And it makes sense. How can anybody, I mean, think about it. 80% of people lose money in the market. How could you think otherwise? If all you do is buy stocks, you know how good you got to be? You know how good that broker of yours has got to be? That you only can buy stocks? And how many times do I said this? Let's say you're in a stock and it goes up 20% and it starts going down and your fear is, oh my God, I got to get out. I got to get out. Let me out. Let me out. Get me out. Get me out before I get killed. Well, just think about that for a moment. If your stock went up 20%, starts going down, you panic and you want out. Why? Just like flicking a light switch. It's the same exact thing. You flick a switch. And now when the market starts going down or the stock you're in is going down, that you're panicking, get me out, why get out? Like flipping a switch, reverse your position, and you're making money on the way down. But it's so hard to get people to understand that. And that's when the market becomes fun, is when you have that ability to make money when the market drops. So it doesn't matter to you whether the market's going up or not. You don't have to listen to these people. But let's get back to what's going on here. Every time there is a market crash, and God, I've seen enough of them after 51 years. 51 years been doing this. On this earth for 75. And I've seen enough market crashes. And one thing is always certain. Before every crash, it never fails. We have a negative disposable income. Every time. And we have one now. A negative disposable income of $2 trillion that started in 2021. But nobody talks about that. We also have something else that's going on that we always see before market crashes. We have this rapid increase where people start running. They start running out of tech stocks and they start running into value stocks. In other words, they start running out of their favorite tech stocks. their growth stocks and they jump into value stock. Get me into banks, get me in oil, get me in materials, get me in anything. And we're seeing that happen too. But it should be fun. Because we are, if you're in this market, listening to these people buying a dip, buying a dip, buying a dip, please understand what's going on. We're in that relief rally. Let's just take the market from the peak of January 3rd. January 3rd, when it hit around $480 on the S&P, SPY. Then she dropped all the way down, do you recall? On January 24th to 420. And you remember at that point, we had this big, gigantic turnaround. We went down 1,000, we went right back up 1,020. That big turnaround, remember that? The plunger team came in, started to buy the stocks, push it back up. They were scared to death. And as I told you many times, the reason why, because we were at a point where especially the big insurance companies were going to pull the trigger. They didn't have to pull it. It was automatic. The computers automatically put in sell orders of a certain group of assets. Now, these assets the insurance company has and hedge funds have, every day there's about $5 billion in money sitting there to pick up these assets that are sold. They're sold every day normally. And about $5 billion is plenty of money, plenty of liquid to pick these up. Well, instead, if this was tricked, if the computers pulled the trigger, we would have had 75 to 95 billion, and the 5 billion certainly couldn't cover it, and we would have went down probably 2,000 points that day. But they stopped it, and they've been pumping money into it, and more QE and more stock buy. You know that the stock buybacks are huge right now. They've printed over $35 billion so far to keep buying their own shares, to keep pushing this market up. But it's not going to work. So we're in a relief rally. The first thing happens in a relief rally, we have the fake business news media. They start paying attention. They start doing what their job is, to get you hopeful, to build your optimism, to get you to believe this is it. This is the rally. We're on our way back to good things, always good now, just like it used to be for the 14 years. The hope is fulfilled. The optimism is fulfilled. The belief is filled. I mean, this is what they do. This is what they do. But what they don't realize is now they get to the point where there's greed in this relief rally. And then it's going to start coming right back down because they can't make the old highs. In other words, they got to get back. The S&P's got to get back up to above 480. When they can't get up to that 480, they're going to be in denial. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. And the fake business network is going to make sure you think that. And then all of a sudden, fear sets in. And then when fear sets in, stagflation sets in. And then what happens is all the businesses, they start suffering and they start laying people off. They start laying people off because business starts to suffer. And when they lay people off, this gets really bad because when the neighbor goes to work in the morning, he sees his neighbor not going to work, he panics. He stops buying. So everybody stops buying. Then the next phase is panic. And that's when the market goes down 20, 30, 40, in this case probably 50, 60%. But nobody wants to believe any of this. They just want to believe everything's going to be just fine. Well, it's not just fine because we are in a relief rally. And as I say, people don't want to believe it. They also don't want, when they tell us how great the consumer is, he has so much cash, they don't have to work anymore. What's wrong with these people? Our household debt is rising 40% faster than the economy. Think about that for a moment. Think about that for a moment. Our national debt is at $30 trillion. Think about that. It's growing faster than our economy at $25 trillion. You know what that means? You know what that means? This is bad news. Because, and I'm going to tell you when we get back from this break why it's so bad. But if you're smart, you can take advantage of it and make money.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. This segment is sponsored by 860 AM The Answer in Tampa, 9:30 AM The Answer in my hometown, Sarasota, Florida. Remember, we stream live through YouTube and Rumble. Okay, so the market's down 500 points. Everyone, except for us, thought the crash was over. And it's not. Remember, after 14 years of printing $125 trillion to move the stock market up, after printing $8 trillion just to put in stocks to artificially push the market up. And remember, they pushed the stocks up when they didn't have any bottom line. No bottom line, no profit. When the S&P was going up 20%, when the S&P was going up 17%, there was no net worth. There was no, I mean, they weren't making money. There was no profits, no earnings. But it didn't matter because that's why they do QE. That's why they print money and do stock buybacks so companies don't need profits. That means CEOs don't put money back into a company. They do not put money back into business investment, give you new machinery, new equipment so you could produce more, so your wages go up and your standard of living go up. No. They don't do that. They take the money for themselves. They take that money and they buy the shares back of the company. And see, and here's another way they can do it. It doesn't matter to them if the company's not making money. Because let's say a company had just used 1 million shares. And let's say the stock was at $30, and let's say it dropped down to, I don't know, let's say $20. Well, the stock normally would go down. Let's say the stock price would go down from 30 to 20. And the stock would probably go down when the earnings come out, maybe another $4. But instead, they can push it up $10. Well, how can they do that? The stock's at 30, it dropped to 20, and when the earnings come out, it should drop another $4. How can they turn it around, push it back up $10, $12? Easy. They take that money that's printed, and they get that money free. They don't have to pay for it. Yes, it's debt. And then they take the 1,000 shares, and they go in and buy some of those shares, called stock buybacks. They buy them down. So instead of having 1,000 shares outstanding, they now only have 900 shares outstanding. So that means those earnings, okay, they can spread those earnings over 900 shares and have the stock go up $10. You see that? That's how they do it. They cheat. So they figure out how much do I have to drop the amount of outstanding shares to move my stock price up rather than down. It would go down if I did it honestly. But if I cheat and just do a stock buyback, do I drop it from 1,000 shares to 900 for it to go up $10, $12? Or do I drop it down to 800 shares? Or do I drop it down to 700? Whatever it is, they figured out, and that's what they do. And that's why stocks go up and up and up. They don't have to make money. Done this for 14 years, but you pay for that. There's a big consequence in that. Big consequence. Because remember, we borrow money from China, and we borrow money from Japan. And when you have a national debt at $30 trillion, and that debt is growing faster than our economy at $25 trillion, they don't like that. When your debt stands at 106% of your growth, of your GDP, of what you're growing, they don't like that. They don't want to take risks. So what we are seeing now, what we are witnessing now, the higher inflation, the higher yields, the higher rates, because they want more money. They want the yields to go up, because we're going to have to pay more for that money we borrow from them. And so inflation keeps going up. Remember, when they see what's going on, this whole rally's been fake. And again, it shouldn't matter to any investor if it's fake or not. Our membership, we could care less. We're just talking about it today. Give you an example. Where was this morning? We're just talking about it because our members have the ability to make money when stocks go down by call shorting and make money when it goes up. And by the way, our members don't have to sit there and figure it all out. Our members who are busy, we call them the working investor groups. If you sign up for our program, you can see this. It's free for 10 days. Just go where it says Get Started. Go to philsgang.com, click where it says Get Started, and you'll see it say Working Investor Program. That's what you select. And that program, every day, that's our portfolio. My portfolio, you can see it, got 6 stocks, the same 6 stocks, been in for 4 years, and also 2 ETFs, the Spiders and XLK, which are textile. And you can follow my trades if you want, or you can follow the Working Investing Group trade. And every day, Steve, who's our head of the education program here, he records every one of the stocks. And he tells you what to do. Here, for example, one of our good stocks is an ETF. It's oil services. Listen.
OIH, hold your long position. Our order got filled at 2:39.
So he's telling right now, if you go home tonight and you're a member and you have supper, you don't have time to come to class, you don't have time to learn, and you just open up and say, okay, let's see what Steve says to do with OIH. And he tells you. And the next day the market opens. That's all you have to do. You don't have to even know. You just do what he says. As long as you do that, you're going to be just fine. But here's the beautiful part, because I'll give you an example. We were just talking about it today. I'm trying to find the damn thing. Oh, right here. Let's take, like, when Las Vegas Sands. We were short Las Vegas Sands. We knew Las Vegas Sands. Our chart showed us it was going to go down. It turned red. So it went from green to red. It went down 32%. Now, our members who always trade that stock, I'm not saying every member who trades that stock made 32%, but that was the opportunity. So some made 5%, some made 10%, some made 15%, maybe somebody made 30%. It doesn't matter. But at the same time now, when it went back up, they're making money on the way back up another 24%. And I'm not saying they made all 24. Maybe they made on the way down 8%. Maybe on the way up they made 12%. It doesn't matter, as long as you're during the year that you're part of that 20% who's making money consistently, whether the market goes down or goes up. That's where you got to get. You're not going to do that listening to these people or being part of a 401k.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1 percentile? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, the market now is down 571 points, and the Nasdaq's getting crushed. And if anyone thinks the Nasdaq is going to come back, I know everybody's addicted to these Nasdaq stocks. It's not. It's over, okay? For it to come back, I shouldn't say it never come back. For it to come back, Powell could make a decision and say, you know what, I am not going to raise rates. I decided not to raise the short-term rates. They're going to affect your car payment and your credit card and all that. And I decided not to raise the long-term rate that's going to affect home loans. I decided to stop all this. In fact, I'm going to cut rates again. Then we could go back to the old highs. But here's the difference. If he makes that decision, we're going to be right where we were in 2008 when people had to make a decision because the inflation will be so huge. They have to make a decision. Do I pay my car payment? I got three things I'm following. My car payment, my credit card, and my mortgage. Which one do I pay? I can't pay all three. So yes, if you want to see the market go up temporarily, back to where we were, that's all he has to do is stop this movement of rate hikes. And he may do that because he's a coward. But what's going to happen, he's going to sacrifice you. He's going to sacrifice Wall Street, which they've been doing for 14 years. Because remember, for 14 years, the guy on Main Street's been getting screwed. The people that are making all the money are the 1 percentile. And that's why I just wish I could get you to join my gang, okay? So it doesn't matter if this stuff is going. We're just talking about that again today. With this nonsense, as the market's been going down in the last 3 days, if you were in CCL with us, what we call a swing trade, you're only in it for 1, 2, or 3 days. Swing trade. That went up 7% in 3 days while the market's going down. Because the trend of CCL, the market's going down, and this little stock starts going up, and we only catch it for 2 or 3 days, and then we get out of it. So we have that program for people who, can want to be active. And we got the program for the people who don't have time. And that's the one I use most of the time. It's called position trading. I'll wait until CCL brings to me, a pattern where I can be in it for 1, 2, 3 months. But it's not ready for that. I don't have time to sit in front of my computer all day long, because I'm doing my radio show. We got a lot of things to do around here. But that's a great program. It's called the Working Investor Program. And that's the one most people select. And you just got to wait until wait till the pattern comes to you, and then we tell you when it's there, when to buy, when to sell, when to add. And we do it all. Nobody else does that. And you'll be in a position, so if the market goes down, you have to worry, you're making money. Now, if you don't believe anything I'm saying, try it for 10 days, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying is the truth. All right, I want to get back to this thing where they're telling us how strong the consumer is. Let's take the average consumer. The average person, out of the 167 million workers we have, about 70% of our workforce works paycheck to paycheck and makes an average about $30,000 a year. Check it out. It's unbelievable. $30,000 a year. So he budgets $2,500 a month. I'm telling you, 70% of the people who work in this country are making $30,000 a year, $35,000 a year. Most people don't believe that. So let's budget $2,500 a month for him. He pays $1,000 a month for his housing costs, utility bills, power, phone, television, internet, another $300 a month. Car payment, a couple $100. Health insurance, the premium $450. Car insurance, $50 a month. Food for his family, let's say he's got a family of 3, $500 a month. So the average family has spent the entire $2,500. They have not a single penny left over, or what we would call discretionary spending. They have no money to go out and spend on anything. So what do? They use their credit cards. That's why credit cards get maxed out. So how can they tell us on CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg how everybody is just doing so fantastic, they got so much money they could retire. Everybody don't have to work anymore. People got so much money in their savings, a bunch of garbage. Now the biggest problem you got now is that people somehow, after 14 years, do not believe the market's going to crash. And that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Because, first of all, our national debt of $30 trillion is going up 36% faster than our economy is growing. Now, that's pretty bad. Today, inflation came out today, 7%, is what it is. But that's not true. It's 15%. Because if you looked at the numbers, you'll see housing cost, what a house cost. Remember, housing went up 20 to 30% from March 2020 to where we are today. They don't use that 20 to 30%. Let's say it was 20%. They only use 2% of it. They rig it so they only use 2% of it. Now remember, that number you're going to hear, that 7% inflation, is rigged. First of all, it's not 7, it's 14, but let's use the 7. 33% of that number, inflation they give you, a contribution of that 33% towards that 7% is housing, and they only use 2% of the actual inflation. This is crazy. This is nuts. Now let's get back to China. Our banks are China and Japan. And when they see what's going on, they're just astounded. And they want more money. They want higher rates. When they see every 24 hours we need to borrow $4 billion, and they see the government's net worth is a negative $20 trillion, when they see from the time that Biden goes to bed and his feet hits the floor in the morning, the government added another $1.5 billion in debt. When they see the Treasury has printed $125 trillion in liquidity to give to the Fed, to give to the 5 largest investment banks, instead of being used to start an economic recovery, they used the money to prop up the economy, including $30 trillion to prop up the banks. They lied to us and said that they only used $5 trillion. No, it was $30 trillion. This is what they did with the money. When they see this, our lenders, the money is being used to prop up a fake stock market. Are you kidding me? And when they see that Powell has to, besides borrow money, he has to print and inject $6.5 trillion a day into our market, into our economy, $120 billion a month to purchase treasuries to keep those rates down, to keep shooting up those tech stocks, $100 billion a month for stock buybacks, $180 billion a month for mortgage-backed securities, $120 billion a month to monetize corporate debt, because we got 1,200 out of the 500 S&P 500 companies that should be bankrupt, but we keep them alive, zombie companies, by going in and we monetize their debt. We go in and we buy their mortgage-backed securities or treasuries, or we even buy their desks to keep them alive. We print another $100 billion a month for government debt. Yeah, we keep the government afloat. The Fed keeps printing money to go, Treasury, print money, go into the government, and they buy from the government mortgage-backed securities or whatever they need to keep the government afloat, because we're in a hole every day. And the first day that Biden got into office, the first week got on, he printed $500 billion. You know where that went? Not to help you. It went to the security dealers after the 2020 crash, March. First thing he did. $500 billion to the central banks. He printed another $2 trillion for Treasury security, to buy Treasury securities. He purchased another $1 trillion mortgage-backed securities. Then he purchased another $5 trillion corporate debt. Then he purchased another $6 trillion government debt. The first week in office, he printed all that money. What about you? What about the guys making $35,000? Even if you're making $100,000, you're screwed. The only way you made money is if you got in to the stock market and you got in on this deal and you knew when to get out, exactly when to get, and when you knew to make money as it starts to crash again, you're going to do terrific. So why don't you join our gang and do terrific? We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60, 70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the .com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. This last segment sponsored by KSBN AM 1230 Spokane. And also remember, we stream live on YouTube and Rumble. You know when you know that your wife really loves you, you got a super wife, when she not talking to you on you're on the radio, I can't talk with her, and she sends somebody in with water. She knows my voice is getting rough. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You know your wife loves you. You got to do that. I mean, how many wives would do that? She knew, just to listen to my voice, that I was getting raspy, and she had I said, bring in some water. I think it's pretty cool. How'd I get on that? Oh, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Listen to this. Now we go from something beautiful to something that's, I can't say it or they'll throw me off the air. It's full of crap.
To me, we have the strongest economy perhaps I have ever seen.
Okay.
To me, we have
the strongest economy. Don't you love this? If that was the case, why did we have to print $8 trillion for stock buybacks in 2008 to 2021? If we had the strongest economy, why was it in 2018 when we were shorting the market, it started to crash? Remember, I predicted that, and it started to go down 20%, and the Federal Reserve came in and stopped the crash just like they did last week, remember? They printed $900 billion. That's why your gasoline's going up. That's why your food's going up. They printed $900 billion, and they did more stock buybacks. And then remember what happened in 2018. Trump had to cut taxes for corporations from 35% to 21% to stop that crash. 2020. If this is such a great economy, then how come the S&P 500 stocks in 2020, they gained 16%? Yet, there was no earnings. There was no profits. Matter of fact, the earnings were negative. The only way they got the market to go up 16% was through stock buybacks. They had to print $520 billion. That's why when you go to the store, beef is so high, chicken's so high, poultry's so high. They had to print $520 billion, go in and buy stocks to push the market up artificially. Why, if things are so good, Jim, in 2021, Why? When the S&P gained 27%, and we're all happy. But then we learn that the earnings were negative 21%, meaning the earnings is bottom line profit. Call it what you want, earnings, bottom line profit. We're negative 21%. So how the hell did we get the market to go up 27% when there's no profits in the market, in those companies? How do we do that? Well, easy. Just go print money. Just go print money, $850 billion. Do more QE, more stock buybacks. And then we saw that 84% of the 27% in gains for 2021 came from stock buybacks. Dillard's, 64%. They contribute 64%. KSS, 51%. GPS, I'm just going to give you the symbols, 38%. Target, TGT, 31%. Ross, 25%. TJ Maxx, Walmart. So notice my point is, if the economy's so great, why would we have to get them to buy their own shares back to artificially push the market up to make sure we had a gain of 27% and we had no profits? Also at the same time, 28% of the S&P 500 companies, which account for 75% of R&D, that's it. 28 out of 500, they account for 75% of R&D, research and development? Of course not. They didn't want to put any money in research and development because they want to print money to do more stock buybacks. This is crazy. And the $12 trillion in the profits that were made that year, 2021, 12 trillion, okay? 12 trillion. I'm talking about the stock gains. The gains, that's different than the net profits, the bottom line. I'm talking about the gains in the profit, in the gains, not profit of the company, the stock gains. 12 trillion of those gains went to who? 1% of the population. Oh, and by the way, if we're such a good economy, then why did Main Street had to give up $51 billion in real wages? Those wages have been in their pocket, but they paid the cost for QE. And things are so good. The working class, 80% of the working class, or 79.2%, 8% makes $17.28 an hour. That's $22,000 a year. 20% of our working class, working force, make $32 an hour. That's $66,000 a year. After all of that, 71% are working paycheck to paycheck, and you call this the strongest economy in the world? Now, the reason why 39.2% of the working class have multiple jobs, Jim, and the reason why home ownership is at a 50-year low, Jim, and the reason why 40% of American families can't raise $500 in case of an emergency, and 41.2% are struggling to put food on their table. You're saying it's a great economy. No, Jim. No. You know why? Because they can't get those wages up. You want to know why they can't get the wages up? Because the CEO of companies, whatever profits or cash flow they make, they don't give them new equipment, new technology so they can increase productivity. And here's the real kick in the face. When we can't produce, and the government, remember, is sending them all kinds of money, stay home, don't work, right? And they're sending them all kinds of money for free child care and for this and that. And so people don't have to work, so nobody's producing anything. So they got all this money coming in from the government, child care, all this different money coming in. They'll pay your house payment for you, they'll pay your rent for you if you're behind, all this money. They don't go to work. And now they're buying stuff, but we have nobody to produce it. And that means that we got demand, no productivity. And now all the ports get jammed up and all, and they blame this on COVID? No. COVID had nothing to do with that crash, Jim. So I can go on and on. Here's what I want to ask you. I'm going to reach out to you. And I want you to help St. Jude. Okay? And you do that, and I'm going to help you, and my staff is going to help you. My team is going to help you so that we're going to change your life when it comes to the stock market. For the first time, you're going to have fun with it. And when you hear, hey, the market's down 515 points, you go, yeah, great, yeah. Because you're going to be making money on the way down. Try it for 10 days, for heaven's sakes. And stop listening to all this crap you're listening to on the fake business news network. It was funny. The market went up for the last 4 days. And we're making a little bit of money. We're doing what we call some swing trades. And everybody's thinking, oh, it's over. We're on our way. And that's what they're telling you on the fake business network. They're saying everything's fine now. The economy's really doing darn well.
This economy is doing really darn well.
Yeah, darn well. Really darn well. Do you believe this? And today we find out inflation's going up even more.
Now for the biggies, 7.5 on year-over-year headline, 6%.
7%. Inflation went up 7%. It's really 15% because they lie about the increased inflation in housing. They only count 2%. They don't count the 18 or 20%. So you don't have to worry about the fact that they're going to give $600 billion for free child care, $84 billion to increase Pell Grants. I mean, they're one way or the other. I'm telling you, the Democrats are going to get some of this stuff through. Okay? They are. And it's going to be even more and more expensive. I mean, just think about it for a second, what they did. Remember all the money they printed? And they gave every child $2,000 up to $30,000? They gave every person $1,400, and if you're getting a $300 unemployment check, they give you another $300 for $600. Think about all that money they printed. Instead of putting these people to work, they told them to go home, and they gave them this money, and they start spending, and nobody's working, nobody can produce, and then Pete, the mayor, comes out and says, oh, wow, this COVID is really causing a real problem here. We have all this demand, and we can't produce. This is COVID. It had nothing to do with COVID. So let's put all that aside. And I'm going to help you. You're going to help St. Jude. And the next time the market goes down, you're going to go, great, we're down 523 points. The Nasdaq's down right now 300 points. You're going to say, great, it's down. I promise to put you in that position. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Click where it says get started. Sign up where it says working investor. And I'll see you in the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.